Hi, I'm Amy and I'm here with Cara and we're part of the Youth Media team. We're here interviewing Craig Dwyer at the Media Literacy Ireland conference in autumn. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
So my name is Craig Dwyer, and I am a campaigns and communications consultant. In the past I've worked with Yes Equality as a social media director during the marriage equality referendum campaign, so designing the social media strategy used during that campaign in 2015. And then more recently I was the co-founder of the Transparent Referendum Initiative. So that was a voluntary civic initiative that aimed to increase the transparency of online political advertising during electoral campaigns. So I was speaking here at Media Literacy Ireland's autumn conference today about media literacy during times of social change. So as the technological media and social environments are changing, what type of media literacy should we be working towards?
You spoke earlier about your involvement in the Transparent Referendum Initiative. Would you like to tell our listeners about this?
Yes, so as I was saying there, so it was a voluntary initiative. Myself and a couple of my friends, we came together and it was ahead of the referendum on the 8th Amendment in May of this year. So at the start of 2018, we were just having discussions about the use of social media in political campaigns and how advertising has an impact. And we were doing so thinking of the Brexit referendum and the US presidential election in 2016, and how questions had been asked in the aftermath about digital threats to democracy and what happened and what role did digital play in manipulating the vote. And we were having these conversations, I suppose, knowing that we were facing into a referendum on a particularly polarising and divisive issue, and I suppose we had concerns that social media advertising could be used to manipulate voters during that campaign. So we then built a publicly available database of over 1,500 Facebook ads during the campaign. And we were using all of this data that we were collecting to highlight to people, that yes, there are adverts in your feed trying to influence how you're going to vote, and they're dark ads, and what you're seeing isn't being seen by other voters, and just trying to inform and educate people about how the digital infrastructure works, and in particular social media advertising during political campaigns.
Why do you think it's important for people to be able to make informed choices around how to access and use media content?
I think it is. It's hugely important because we are kind of living in an increasingly digital society. We have access to so much more information now than ever before, and from a variety of different sources, different content types, across loads of different platforms. So it's becoming increasingly difficult to discern what's fact, and there's all this awareness now around fake news and stuff like that. So with this kind of overwhelming amount of content that's out there, I think it's really important that people have the media literacy skills to be able to navigate that noisy media landscape and to find the good information that is out there that will help them to make better informed choices.
You also spoke about the kind of media literacy we want in society. Can you share your thoughts on what kind of media literacy we should be looking for?
Yes, so I was talking about media literacy during times of social change, and I suppose there's a focus on media literacy at the moment in discussions around fake news and disinformation, and some people are putting forward media literacy as the solution. Whereas I was kind of posing the question or saying that you cannot be seeing, media literacy can't be seen as the only solution. It's part of the solution, but we need to understand what is polarising our society. look at those underlying attitudes that people have that lead to really kind of like divergent views on things, and for deliberate disinformation attacks to manifest themselves, to try and understand what those underlying attitudes are, and that's going to require like a multi-stakeholder approach to try and tackle it. Yes, I think media literacy is really important, and individual responsibility in engaging in critical thinking, but we also need other stakeholders like government, social media companies, all of those different stakeholders who have a role to play coming together to try and address the issues.
Is it important for young people like ourselves to create content, and do you have any advice to people who might want to do this?
Yes, I do. I think it's really important for young people to create content. One of as I was saying kind of like earlier as part of my speech, is that like I'm definitely am like a tech optimist, and I can see like the positive potential that social media has, especially for young people who are so literate in how these platforms work. But there bad things do happen on social media as well. But where I think that young people can really have some power here is by ensuring that all of the good stuff that happens on social media far outweighs the worst. So we're returning to a place where people are actually enjoying using social media, and I think that will come down to young people becoming responsible content creators, and critically evaluating the landscape, identifying, seeking out kind of further information, and also balancing out the conversation, recognizing okay, this might not be true, or this is what I think about this, and adding their voice, adding their content to make it a better environment for all.
Finally, you spoke about tech activism versus tech optimism. What do you mean by these terms?
They're very similar, I suppose. But when I refer to tech activism, I think I'm referring to, say, highlighting the issues and the problems and what we need to address and fix with tech, and all of the work that I'm involved in around that. So the Transparent Referendum Initiative, so that was kind of very much in the tech activist space. But on the flip side, I do believe that I'm a tech optimist as well, because I do believe in the potential of these platforms as a force for social good. So a lot of the other work that I'm involved in is working with campaigners and non-profit organisations on using social media and creating content for social good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we get a quick photo?